Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and this is a tactical manual video on the use of the mobile artillery in Battlefield 4. Now, mobile artillery platforms were present in Battlefield 3 as they were added in Armored Kill DLC, but in Battlefield 4 they have been deeply reworked and for the better I might say. Okay, so before we get into the meat of it, some basics. Battlefield 4 has the American M142 HIMARS, or the High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, as the platform itself. Now, I didn't see a Russian equivalent yet, but hopefully they'll make it in as a part of the later DLCs. Now, the M142 launcher has a rocket salvo of 6 227mm M270 rockets, after which it needs to reload, in the game at least. Now, this mobile rocket launcher has two seats, as indeed in Battlefield 3, but only the driver can access the second seat, so you can't have two people in the truck at the same time, as from what I've seen it kind of glitches. Now, as the driver, you can stop the truck, change seats by pressing F2, and now you have access to the completely reworked targeting system. No longer do you have this nonsense grenade launcher-esque ladder for launching the rockets. No. Now you have a no-nonsense computer screen where targeting is just a matter of placing your mouse over a target and clicking. Now, this being a tactical channel, first things first, I will cover the stats of this rocket system, and after that I will go into some basic strategies to employ and to show you some of the weaknesses of the launcher. Now, the basic stats of the mobile artillery are as follows. It has a health of 750 points, or 250 less than a tank or an LAV, and its disable threshold is 10 health points. It's got a 10 seconds regeneration delay, meaning it will start regenerating health 10 seconds after the last time it took damage. It will accommodate two passengers, a gunner and a driver, although I've only seen this happen a couple of times, and the rest of the time it just sort of, as I said, it glitches. And its respawn time is 60 seconds. Its launch velocity is 200 meters a second, and gravity acts upon the rocket at a negative 90 meters per second per second. Now, this is obviously a variable dice created to model the drop of any projectile in the game, which will tell you offhand that it's a very steep arc that the rocket flies at, which is actually quite redundant since you don't really need to know these numbers because you can see where you are aiming anyway on the computer screen, so this doesn't affect you in any way because you don't have to calculate the bullet drop as you would with a sniper rifle. Now, the minimum distance for the rocket's aiming is 108 meters, and the maximum is 430 meters. The blast radius is 7 meters, where the damage against infantry drops off from 67 to 11 inside that radius. Now, the important thing to know here is that one rocket will do 24 damage to a tank or an LAV. Its rate of fire is 250 rockets per minute. It has 6 rockets per magazine, so to speak, and 3 magazines when it's fully loaded. Its reload time is 5 seconds between magazines and 20 seconds after you've used the third one. Now, the mobile artillery truck has no unlock progression like it did in Battlefield 3, and the IR smoke screen comes standard. Now, the IR smoke screen will spoof oncoming locked missiles and will break active lock, but will obviously not be effective against wire-guided and dumbfire rockets. It will jam for 7.5 seconds inside a 20-meter radius and will then take 17.5 seconds to reload. Now, as for the actual strategy part of this video, um, there are a few things to keep in mind when using the rocket launcher. Now, since the targeting system is now very easy to work with just a computer screen and a mouse click, the angle of the actual missile will adjust automatically. But this means that you should always try to park on a level surface, which can be difficult in Battlefield 4 after a long conquest round and explosion craters everywhere. It's might be hard to find a level piece of ground. Also, because of the glitchy terrain, sometimes you'll find yourself slowly glitching on, sliding or popping on three wheels. So, be careful of that because it won't let you aim well. Now, some of the other things to keep in mind here are that the truck itself is extremely lightly armored. So, a good sniper can take out the driver in a couple of shots. Also, the truck is incredibly obvious. It will stick out like a sore thumb, especially with the huge rockets firing and the, rockets pointing at the sky. So, there's a couple of ways you can minimize your presence on the battlefield. First, of course, is to take a good camo with you. And since the HIMARS falls into the transport category in Battlefield 4, and I don't even know why that is. I actually forgot and took this purple deal with the green stripes, and it was just hideous. Needless to say, I did not win any fashion awards in that round. Another way to camouflage yourself is with a tree. Basically, you just want to find a tree, ram it with your truck, take it down, and park right in the middle of all the leaves and, the tree and everything, and so it will basically cover you. This is actually the best solution since the rockets will raise up on the arm on the back of the truck, and the tree will break up the silhouette of the truck. Unless, of course, you are standing right next to it, it will seem like, the tree is firing rockets at you. Another solution is to park behind a hill or a train car, or do what the Russians used to do in World War II uh, with tanks. Actually, you know what? Everyone did it, and not only the Russians. And actually, that's the reason why tanks now have this. Some tank models have this huge flip down plow in front of them. Basically, the strategy is to put the truck into a pre-made explosion crater. Since you can't dig one out like in real life, uh, you can use a couple of M2 slams, put them on the ground and shoot them. That will create a crater. Or you can use a crater from a previous explosion, and I'm sure you'll have luck finding those. And basically, fire from the cover. It'll be a little bit of cover inside the crater. This should make it harder for tanks and RPGs to hit you. Another thing to keep in mind is that since the truck is very lightly armored and stays in one place for long periods of time, it's a prime target for C4 wielding snipers and gunships and such. So always try to park as far away from enemy territory as your rocket kill radius allows you to. And in fact, displace after every good salvo with good effect on target. Because people will get pissed and, they will go out there looking for you, even behind enemy lines. So if something doesn't sit right, you feel it in your gut kind of. Maybe a sniper's bullet whizzing by, or maybe it's just too quiet all of a sudden. Forget lining up the next shot and, move. But before moving, what I like to do is I like to press R to load in the next 6 rocket salvo, while I'm on the go, because obviously the game allows you to do that. Now, because this time in Battlefield 4, DICE gave the mobile artillery no unlocks, no leveling up. That means that there will be no strange specs for the rocket launcher, like proximity scan and AA missile capability and TOW missiles. None of that. Actually, when I was first playing with the HIMARS truck, I was getting a few kills and waiting for the unlocks, which turns out would never have come. So, you know. Alright, so this means that you have to rely on your own senses when focusing on the target and focusing on, the people around you, so you don't get C4'd. You don't have any proximity sensors to rely on. Now, the good thing is that the truck does come standard with a smoke launcher. So, in a really sticky situation, you can shrug off at least one missile. But if you're really in the shit, and there's plenty of enemies around you, just rush them, just plow right through them, make them nervous. Nervous people forget to fire rockets and, maybe even get a roadkill in the process. Now, the rockets themselves will take time to reach the target, so don't try to shoot at moving targets. You'll just reveal your position and kill nothing. Large infantry formations around an objective or a tank or two that are standing close together, something that isn't moving at all, or where you can reasonably predict the movement, that is a good target. To that end, if you're aiming at a tank, aim right at its front fender, just in case it begins turning or moving forward while the rockets, reach him. But remember to always keep an eye on your ammo. If you have only one rocket chambered, so to speak, do not begin shelling a tank. Because obviously, since one rocket does 24 damage to a tank, you will need all of 6 rockets to destroy one completely healthy tank. Because obviously, the tank will start moving after the first rocket hits him. So instead, press R and wait for the complete reload to load all 6 rockets back in the launcher, as it were. Also, each rocket fired, much like each shot from a regular gun, has a bit of a kick to them. Meaning, they don't actually kick the truck. No. Instead, they widen your aiming reticle a little bit and make aiming harder and less likely to hit where you're aiming. So it's kind of like the hip fire accuracy that decreases as you fire a gun in full auto, the hip fire spread will go wiggy on you. So don't try to Rambo and shoot all 6 rockets at the same time. Fire one, let it reset to where you can reasonably be certain that the crosshairs are small, or in fact they've reset to default, and then fire the second rocket, and so on and so on. In fact, fun fact about recoil, or not so much the recoil, I guess. Well, the roof of the truck cabin of these launchers is usually made of plastic nowadays, because the rocket exiting the launcher, the flames and the blowback from the rocket will actually depress the truck's roof a little bit for a very short time. And since it's plastic, it will bounce right back, unlike metal. But let's get back on topic. And if you're firing into a large cluster of enemy infantry, you know, fire one rocket, let it reset, as I've said before, and then move your crosshair ever so slightly before you fire again. The splash damage should involve more kills, even if they are moving around a little bit. But having said that, this thing is most wisely used against armor. Again, the strategy would be, as I said in my cruise missile commander tutorial video, single out one or two stationary tanks that are not likely to move anytime soon, maybe taking an objective or something like that, you know, fire at them and let her rip. So, thanks for watching. Please rate, share this video, and check out my other videos at the end of this one. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.